Now we're going to go to Scott. Our talented, wonderful musical guy of the moment is Scott Moyer. He has quite a history working with, I know you worked with adults with learning disabilities and musicians and all kinds of things. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Scott.
Well, hi, Bowie. How you doing? And
I'm
Bob,
good.
how you doing, Bob? Have you had your morning coffee yet? Yeah. Um, well, it all started with me, way back when I was 11 years old, and even before that, when I was 8, in Wilmington, Delaware, um, watching the Dick Clark Show, American Bandstand, as we all know it growing up, and learning all the dances and listening to all the grooves that were happening from Chuck Berry and Little Richard and Elvis, and going to the like everybody went to the movies and saw Love Me Tender or whatever, and you get all these memories that come swarming back to you, about the 50s and the 60s, and so I got an interest in studying drums back at age 11, and took lessons when I was living in the New Jersey area, and then my family got moved to we got transferred to Hong Kong, and just briefly, by age 15, I was in a full-on band playing Beatle music and all the British wave music, because Hong Kong's a British crown colony at the
Yeah.
time in 1962. And I was playing gigs at the Hong Kong Hilton with Thelonious Monk trio on the same bill. And to me, it was just like, hey, we're having fun playing in the band with our little Beatle outfits and whatnot. But all that continued, and throughout my whole high school, time, and then also into college at the University of North Carolina, where I chose to study music theory along with psychology. And the music theory really just opened my eyes to everything, like the study of the piano, the guitar. I was already playing guitar and drums, at age 11 and age 15. So I've continued all of those studies, and I've been teaching since 1974. Originally started with the Department of the Interior in Washington, D.C. They had a special program at one of the parks, and I was teaching a bunch of kids that were troubled kids. Somehow I always end up with either, adults with learning disabilities or kids that are gifted or troubled kids. But the music always has helped every single person. It helped all the troubled kids. If ever I got a kid that was really a kind of a bad apple, I would assign him to take over, working with other people. And I gave him responsibilities. And all of a sudden, wow, he had responsibilities. He started to get better, and so did everybody else, because I, found a way to assign him, responsibilities. So long story short, I moved to California in '76 and have been playing in writing film soundtracks, surf movie soundtracks, B movies, where I'm playing drums and singing and, writing songs, and have a whole earlier career, just writing film soundtracks and doing a lot of commercials, working with Emmylou Harris, who was my singer. Whenever I wrote a country song, a commercial for Kawasaki motorbikes, I would call Emmylou Harris in. This is when I was living in Washington, D.C., where she was. And she'd come in and sing my lyrics and my melodies on top of my commercials. And those were really memorable times, like fun little times. So, this whole music career hasn't stopped. I've been teaching for 50 years on multi instruments, like drums, guitar, piano, bass, voice, music theory applied to everything, and I continue to teach on Zoom since the pandemic. But I also got asked to help manage Glenn Campbell's former home recording studio over in Agora Hills, off the Liberty Canyon exit. So I go over there, like I'm going over there today at 1:30 to teach anywhere from 10 to 20 adults with learning disabilities, with whom I've been teaching for over a year, and they have really come along. It's amazing what they are capable of doing. So, on top of that, I'm authoring a series of music books for drums and music theory. Um, Over the
Yes,
pandemic,
it is. Music is another language. It's a complete, incredible language. It just blows me away how you can manage all the different instruments and put it into an orchestration. It's communication right there, you know? It's incredible.
it's a universal language and it touches everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a songwriter for many, many years. Since 1972, I've been writing songs. In my room here that you can't see really the whole thing, but on the left side of me, I have boxes completely full of cassettes and CDs that I have composed. I have my original music in and a lot of my the demoed music. And then on the right side, I have a practice pad. I have an electric guitar and an acoustic guitar uh, that I use to teach my students every week on Zoom. Zoom has a whiteboard which has got really incredible utensils that you can actually create these incredible images, and you can just send these images of the guitar or the drums. I write music, so I can write all the music down using the utensils on Zoom, and I just send them to my students instantly through Zoom. And they have a whole, some of them have like 75 pages. They'll download them and put them in a notebook and things like that. So it's really easy to teach on Zoom. You know, I have like drumsticks right here and a practice
Do
pad.
you also have a keyboard?
I also do, I'm bringing a keyboard in very soon. I have everything in storage.